What's good, guys? Welcome to my podcast, Snack Thoughts. I say again, welcome to my podcast, Snack Thoughts. And today, guys, I'm actually gonna throw some military content up here, And what I want to talk about today is the harsh realities of basic training. They don't want you to know, and this is the military truth. And I'm giving it to you straight, So, for those, if you're thinking about joining the military, all right, let me give you some harsh realities of basic training that recruiters don't tell you and that they don't want you to know, And I want to hit some areas, everything from the mental breakdown, sleep deprivation, the psychological pressure, to the physical grind. Hidden rules, fear tactics, and the culture shock, of military lifestyle, and even at certain times, the emotional isolation. So this goes for all branches of service, whether you're joining the Army, Marines, Air Force, Navy, and Coast Guard, and this includes your reserves, National Guard, in there too, But basic training basically is designed to break you down and then build you back up again, okay? So I'm getting ready to get into it, guys. Let's ride with it. All right, so the truth, about basic training, and this happened to me when I went in, obviously the shock hits before the first day, and that's real talk, when you're first going in, obviously reception, it's not training, it's psychological preconditioning, but when you first enter into basic training, you are basically known as, they call you a rainbow, and so basically what a rainbow is, it's a snotty nosed recruit that has not graduated basic training yet. So you haven't earned your stripes, and you haven't earned that credibility and respect yet. Real talk, guys, But let me continue, okay? So, you got everything that they're going to push on you. Everything from long waits, confusion, and from the time you hit basic training, the yelling starts immediately, okay? And obviously, this is designed to break civilian habits, immediate, or fast, okay? Let's see, what else? Sleep deprivation, and I have went through that, and it is done strategically. There are times when they'll cut your sleep to like maybe 3 to 5 hours a night in some phases, and some you may get less than that. I remember when I was going through basic training, I think, what did they do? I think they did something where they kept us up something like was it something like 21 hours straight? It was something crazy. They kept us up like something like 21 hours straight. And then I do remember there was a period where they put on like some slow type elevator music or like classical music. I'm talking about, this is after we've been up at least probably 17 to probably 18 hours already, and the drill instructor is taking us through all stupid type of mind games and exercises, but they're breaking you and they're testing you, and basically if you can't think clearly, then what it does, it makes it easier, to mold you and to break you down. Now, obviously, with sleep deprivation, obviously, there's going to be more mistakes, and, the instructor's job, is to provide the corrective training that you need to work out the kinks, okay? Now, I would say this, don't take your drill sergeant personal, never take it personal, okay? Drill sergeant mind games, they're not personal. There's a method to the madness, and there is a purpose and an intent, behind it. These drill instructors, man, they gonna pick at your weaknesses on purpose. And if you don't have a weakness, oh, you can best believe they gonna make one. I'm laughing now, because that's like many, many years ago, And what they do, they create an environment where it's basically controlled chaos. So they set you up with impossible scenarios where everything you do, is going to be stress related, and what the instructors are doing in that environment is they're evaluating, how you respond, and perform under stress. And one of the toughest things about going through basic training, man, with a civilian mindset, they strip you of your identity. And I'm going to say it again. They strip you of your individualism and your individual identity. When you're going through basic training, you might as well forget about who you are, whatever you were, individually. Once you get into basic training for any branch of service, it don't mean a hill of beans. Everybody is the same. You all in the same boat, so it don't matter. And basically you become a number, not a name, And so what this process, what they're doing, they're breaking the shell, and they're basically, if you got any ego, it's going to be killed, But the goal is to make you one, as a team with others that are different from you. And so if you don't like others that are different from you, well, basic training, they're going to break you out of that, real fast. And other people that you may consider maybe different, quirky, weird, whatever you want to call it, different races, nationalities, all of that stuff, you're going to get with the program then, because you're going to have at least, probably 40 something, 50, other guys, or for the ladies that you're going to be living with, while you're going through basic training. So it's like, hey, get rid of it, And what they're going to do, they basically are going to eliminate I, and it becomes we, okay? And, obviously, some recruits, they struggle, mentally, more with this and others. Some, can adapt, to becoming part of a team and losing ego and personal identity more than others. But either way, basically, you gonna learn today. Once you in there and Uncle Sam got you, you gonna learn today. So you will learn to become part of a team, else you will not succeed. And if the team does not succeed, then you all fail. And if you have certain individuals that after so many times that the instructors recognize that maybe you might be a bit of a problem child, and you having problems adapting with military lifestyle into the team, with the rest of the team, basically what they can do, they can pull you out, from that particular group or unit and recycle you, and basically set you back and make you start, basic training, whatever period where you failed at, they can send you back, recycle you and make you start it all over again, to see if you can learn and adjust. Now, there's only going to be so many times that Uncle Sam is going to give you, to learn and adjust to military lifestyle and see if you can become, instead of being if you can become one with a team. If you can't get it together after so many tries, then what they'll do, they'll just basically administratively discharge you, basically failure adapt to military lifestyle. So, it becomes about team, not I, and I'm telling you, you can be individually good and talented, but it is frustrating when you realize that, hey, no matter how good I am, if I don't help my other team members, you know what I'm saying, and we all don't succeed, then it's no good. We, you know what I'm saying, we all failed. And that's the way, you know what I'm saying, it is. And that's how they're going to grade it. And it's a lot of pressure, you know what I'm saying, on the group as a whole when you have individuals that may seem to be a bit behind the power curve. And say for those, some people are naturally faster and they have a faster learning curve, you know what I'm saying? But if you don't look out for those weaker members that's in your unit, then y'all all going to get the same punishment. You see what I'm saying? So you gonna learn today, okay? Now, in basic training, the breakdown. People break down, and I don't care how tough they are and how tough they look. Things set in, man, like homesickness, emotional collapse, mental fatigue. Some guys and ladies have quiet breakdowns at night. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? There'd be some guys in there crying, you know what I'm saying? I know there'd be some ladies in there crying, but some ladies is tough, man. But, people, crying because they're pulling you into an environment that you're not used to. You have left your home and now you on strange territory. And Uncle Sam, the military intentionally sets an environment up that way to where it's strange and foreign territory to you. It's done intentionally like that, so that in the future, say if you graduate basic training and then you go on to either AIT or the Air Force will call it your tech school. I forgot the name, for the Navy, but it's the same thing. Coast Guard, it's the AIT, all that stuff. It's the same thing. But when you move on to your, I think the Navy may call it Navy Technical Training Center. But when you move on to from basic and you graduate and say you move to AIT or your Technical Training Center, the school that you're gonna go to learn your career field, and then you eventually graduate out of that and go into the regular military to your first duty assignment. You don't know where they're gonna assign you. They may assign you in an environment that is totally different than what you were raised in and what you grew up in. And the military as a culture, has its own subculture as it is. But what happens if your first assignment happens to be overseas and you've never been overseas before? Or if you're from, say, a big city and they put you in an environment where it's no offense to those that are, from the country, but say it's a country hick town. You know what I'm saying? That happens. You know what I'm saying? When I was from New York City, you know what I'm saying? But, my assignment, you know what I'm saying, is in an environment, that had a lot less people and it was, much slower, so I had to adapt, and adjust. But obviously, you know what I'm saying, obviously I was, adaptable. And so that part, didn't bother me, The first time I experienced homesickness for me, and I was really kind of sad and down, was on Christmas. And I remember it. It was Christmas of 88, I think? I think it might have been 1988. And what happened is that everybody else, most of the people, everybody went home for Christmas, And so I didn't have enough leave left on the books. So I had to stay, at the time I was staying in the dormitory. So I had to stay on base and stay in the dormitories while everybody was gone, for that week to like 2 weeks. Christmas and New Year's, people take off. People going home with their families. And here I am, down in another part of the country that I'm unfamiliar with. And at the time, I didn't have a car, but people with their families. And for the first time, I'm spending Christmas away from mine. I'm by myself. You know what I'm saying? Now, obviously, I guess you could say I got lucky and did find some female company. So, she kind of kept me company, for the holidays, which it did help, to ease the pain and cheer me up, But that's some of the adjustments. But the reason why they do this to you in basic training is not a prerequisite, but it's like a prep, to get you prepared to being in foreign environments and environments different from what you're used to. In the military, you have to be adaptable. In basic training, you're going to have to adapt and learn to adapt fast, if you intend to graduate. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, people do. Some people, they may have stronger ties to their family, and so they may experience homesickness, what I'm saying. Then they might have relatives or maybe somebody that they was close to, and now when you're going through basic training, you got to scrap all of that, because now it's just you and you got to get through Uncle Sam's military. So a lot of stuff that you thought you was taught, you're gonna have to relearn Uncle Sam's way, and that would be whatever branch of service you in. As the Army was said, what I'm saying, you got your way, and then there's the Army's way. and that's real, what I'm saying. But it's not so easy for a new recruit, what I'm saying, that's not used to the military. It's easy to me, what I'm saying, because, like I said, I've already been through it. And remember, I was in 20 years, what I'm saying, so I had plenty of time, and I've been through that and adjusted, what I'm saying. Obviously, like I said, the mental fatigue, what I'm saying, with all going through basic training and stuff like that, so these are different things, what I'm saying. And now let's talk about it. Peer pressure. In basic training, the peer pressure is real, and it is ruthless, okay? And I mentioned it, what I'm saying, briefly. If one person messes up, everybody pays. Let me say it again for the people that might be slow in the back. If one person messes up, everybody pays, So, and that's what I was saying, that you have to learn to function as a team, and you will learn to look after each other one way or another, or the instructors will see to it that you and the entire team, everybody will suffer. And when, as a group, everybody gets tired of suffering, people begin to get the message, and they start making the effort, to reach out and to work together as a team, because they're tired of the punishment and the repercussions. And that's real. If you guys ever heard of like a military blanket party, yeah, well, and for anybody that's going through it right now, or that's thinking about going in, I'm not encouraging you to participate in blanket parties, but blanket parties is where if you got a member that keeps on messing up, or they've done certain things and they brought about serious consequences to the whole team, what can happen if those guys and those ladies get sick of that person? What they can do, they wait, what I'm saying, the drill instructors, everybody's gone, and when it's lights out and time to go to sleep, they put a blanket, what I'm saying, over that person, and they get beat down. Yeah, I'm talking about they putting hands on them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, hey, we sick of you. You know what I'm saying? You ain't listening, and you causing us all to suffer. And we tired of paying for your mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that can happen. You know what I'm saying? That can happen. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but now peer pressure, it can be a good thing. You know what I'm saying? It builds team discipline through conflict. And so as a group, you learn how to deal with conflict resolution. You can learn the easy way, or you can learn the hard way. But the peer pressure, what it does, it'll force you to think as a unit, not an individual. You know what I'm saying? It's like in Uncle Sam's military, and especially going through basic training, you can't make it, by yourself, and it's intentionally designed that way. You know what I'm saying? You got to make it, as a team. And that's how the military as a whole, how it functions. Now, obviously people are still who they are individually, but in certain missions, certain roles, and, you're going to have to function, as a unit, and it's designed like that for a purpose, because if the unit, is not functioning, then the mission can't get accomplished. It's all designed by purpose, and when you're going through basic training, it may not seem like a lot of stuff that they're doing, or scenarios that you're in, and that it may not seem fair or seem like it makes sense, but trust me, if you stay the course, it'll make sense in the end, and it will pay off. Okay. I've seen it before. Another thing, you're going to see people quit. And I'm going to say it again. You're going to see people quit of all shapes, sizes, abilities, all of that. I don't care if good athletes, when they're going through basic, they quit. Strong looking people quit. You know what I'm saying? And so I don't care how strong you are physically. You know what I'm saying? This is a mental thing. You know what I'm saying? I've seen guys, man, like 6'4". Seen a drill instructor, break them down, and they're snotting up crying. And some people, they can't cut it in basic, so they give up, and they quit. You know what I'm saying? Basic training, it's mental endurance. It's not a physical thing. You know what I'm saying? It's mental, and it's what you got in your heart, man. You know what I'm saying? And some people have a problem taking orders. Some people, they can't deal with it, and they can't deal with the team concept. And if you can't deal with the team concept and you can't take orders, then going into the military, that's not the career field, that you need to be in. You don't need to be there, But yeah, so I've seen it, I have seen it all. But some people, they get close, and maybe the combination of things that happen in basic, they can't take it in that environment, so they decide that they want to quit. And hey, the military, obliges. They'll try to persuade you to stick with it and to go on and graduate, especially if you're close to graduating. But some people, they can't take it, and they just like, hey, I just want out. I want to go back to civilian life. Okay. Let's see. Let's talk about another thing. All right. Food, hygiene, and privacy. They are to the bare minimum. So in basic training, you gonna learn today. You'll learn to eat in minutes. I'm talking about in some cases, as fast as a minute and a half. You know what I'm saying? When I was going through basic training, for anybody, if you don't have height, the way they go about sizing up, the units, in the ranks, is tallest man to the front. So most of your tall people, if you going in, say, to the chow hall, right, and y'all going to get chow, and you going in with your instructor, the tallest people are going to get to eat first, and the shortest ones, hey, if you don't learn to push that food down your gut real fast, then you're going to go hungry. And even for the people, that get to the child line first, even they have to learn to eat quick, because what'll happen, see, the instructors, they'll mess with you. You think you're going to get down and have a comfortable meal, that instructor will pull the rug from up under you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you ain't get something in your stomach, it's going to be a long day for you. So you got to learn to eat as fast as you can. I'm not saying that you trying to kill yourself. I'm sorry, trying to harm yourself, trying to just push food down. But when you get hungry enough, you will learn to eat fast when your belly is growling or when your stomach is touching your back. Let me just put it to you that way. Showers are rushed. You will learn, to shower with the quickness. You got to wash that tail, head to toe, and you'll learn to get it done. You almost have zero privacy in basic training. And they're going to make sure that you're going to get a lot of stress. At times it can be poor rest, and it can seem like you're going to have constant exhaustion. Now, at a certain point, they will give you maybe somewhat of a break and allow you to catch up on rest at a certain point. But that ain't gonna happen too often. And for the people in the back, let me say it again, that ain't gonna happen too often. And if you a heavy sleeper, you in for a long night, because that instructor, they will flip that bed upside down while you are still in it. And so you will learn, to be a lighter sleeper. Okay, let's talk about it. With all the training and everything, okay, yeah, they gonna bring some pain to you. Your body will hurt. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gonna feel it. Everything in there from shin splints, blisters, muscle fatigue, constant soreness, not having enough time to fully recover. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, you'll get through it. You know what I'm saying? It's just temporary, for a season, and they're intentionally putting you through these scenarios for a reason. But when you get closer to the end and they figure that you kind of got the hang and you've adjusted, sometimes towards the end they may, kind of lighten up, a bit, because they know now that y'all working as a unit. The instructor has figured they gotten pretty much 90-something% of the job done. So it doesn't require as much pressure as it did in the beginning. So there is light at the tunnel, guys. And ladies, there is light at the tunnel, okay? And basically, let's see, they break you down and they build you up, into something new, Once you get the hang of it, you adjust it, obviously your confidence is going to skyrocket. Discipline now, you don't have to think about it. It becomes second nature. And through basic, you will learn, that you could survive things that you didn't think you possibly could do, and you do come out transformed. And I will say that, and pretty much everybody that I've ever known that's went into the military, before I went in, when I saw people go into basic training, when they came back out, regardless of branch of service, when they came back out, they came back out different. They had a different mindset, they were laser focused, and I used to wonder, it's like, what did they do to them? Because this person was nothing like that, when they were civilian. And all of a sudden they go into basic training and just bop, that fast. They don't turn this person around, and their mindset is totally different, and they trying to get it. They on something totally different. And they look a lot. They look a lot better. As well. But this is just some tips. And something to think about for those of you that are intending to go in. Now, I'm going to pose this question to you guys. If you want me to do, say, maybe a part 2 and, talk about the untold secrets of AIT and deployment, hey, leave it in the comment sections and I can create a video, on that, on what the going zones is with when you move out, graduate basic training, and now you're going into AIT or to your technical training, school. So this is another phase, of life in the military, where you're going in to learn different skills for your career. And then it's also another facet, of military training, But anyway, guys, that's all I have on this one. But I just wanted to share that with you, and just something to think about, the harsh realities of basic training. They don't want you to know. But hey, guys, you can do anything you put your mind to, straight up. Anyway, name of this podcast is Snack Starts, SNAKZTHOUGHTS, Snack Starts. This podcast can be found on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Radio PBM, SoundCloud, the host of other social media outlets. Also, guys, I have a YouTube channel, Eric Broadus YouTube. That's ERICBROADUS, YouTube.com. So go over to my YouTube channel, and smash that bell to become a subscriber. Hit the like or unlike button to like the videos. Either way, leave a comment. Love to dialogue with you. And make sure you to turn on all notifications, and also hit the hype button to hype the videos. And also I have my snacks 123 on Rumble, SNAKZ 123 on Rumble. So go over to Rumble and subscribe to me over there. Hit the like and unlike button. Leave a comment. Either way, let me know what you think. You know what I'm saying? Whether you like or unlike the videos. But please share them. And lastly, I'm also selling weight loss nutrition products, the 5 best weight loss products. So link will be in the description. Hit that link, go in and buy the products, guys. I recommend it. And then share the link, with others so that they can buy the products and take care of their health. Next to God, the next best thing that you have is your health. And that's real talk, guys. You get one life and you get one body, and so you want to take care of it, But that's all I have on this one. But this is something to consider. But if you endure to the end, there will be a payout. Anyway, peace out, guys. Stay tuned and catch you on the next one later.